Forgot.
Okay, no problem.
So there we go. Yeah, so I think, and obviously interrupt me and stuff because I know we have different ahas, but for the diamond part, like I agree, you guys, I've been to multiple boot camps, and my favorite takeaways are always during that diamond part. It's just such a special time for collaboration and talking about taking your leadership to the next level. So I'm going to give you just one little aha moment from that time. And it was actually from Pam Souter. And she was talking about how, you know, when you're out there posting on social media, because we all do that. We all are wearing our shirts, wearing our gear. You're out in the mall, you're walking around, you make your post, but you don't ever actually ask, right? We hear that all the time, like posting's not asking. But the thing that like struck me today is she said, you guys are just doing a really good job advertising for It Works, but you're not actually going for the business, meaning you yourself aren't actually working for your business. You're not working your business. You're just being a really good advertisement, like a poster board for the company. And that's not why they started this company. They started it to help you guys. And that just hit me in a different way because I'd never heard of it that way. We hear people all the time, posting's not asking, posting's not asking. But I guess just for me right now, I just want to challenge you. I want each of you to ask yourselves, am I being a really good advertisement and billboard for the company? Or am I actually going for this business? Am I talking to my friends and my family about this business and what I have my hands on? Like, I just thought that was huge. I loved it.
How about you, Mike?
Well, you want me to start talking the other ones and it'll trigger
Ashley
you?
had my notes.
I have all the notes.
Well, I'll comment on what Ashley just said. I mean, obviously, you guys know since the very beginning of September, we've been making a huge push for going back to basics. And quite frankly, messaging is a great skill. It's a great skill. But, you know, messaging was never meant to be the only form of communication. There's absolutely no story when we're just messaging people and signing them up. Yes, the steps of success is our system. But at the end of the day, if we're not sharing our story, if we're not actually introducing them to what they're getting involved in, whether they're signing up as a customer for some wraps because they're just dumbfounded with how to work, they get started as a customer on the wraps, but we don't ever like bridge them to any of the other products, we're missing out. They're not going to, you know, use wraps every week the rest of their life. They're just not going to. And so we've got to bridge that gap and get them using and learning about other products that we offer. Now, same goes with the business. I can sign anybody up through a message. But if you notice, many of you who have signed up directly with me, I didn't just sign you up through a message. We signed up over coffee. I know, Williams, we had coffee. You had lots of questions, and we sat down. I talked to you about the business. I gave you a bigger vision of who It Works is. Ashley, we sat down over lunch. And then Mike and you came to a one team. And then you came to a wrap party. Kristen, we met over coffee. We sat down again. The first time we met at a wrap party. The second time we sat over coffee. You guys, if you'll notice, Black Diamond, top income earner of the company, there's value in messaging and connecting with people and getting the conversation going. But at the end of the day, if they don't get in front of the It Works story, they'll have no idea what they have their hands on, whether they're a customer or a distributor. So I love that. Are you just advertising for the company? Are you just wearing your gear? Are you just posting all over social? Are you just waiting for your ship to come in? Or are you actually wading out into the deep, into the deep waters and really ready for that ship to come in? So when it does, you jump on board and you're ready to go. That's my question. I love that part, Ashley, because I thought it did complement what we've been talking about and teaching. And again, if you guys have anybody that's excited about the business, that they want to learn more, that they're interested in trying a wrap, get them to something, get with them, get the rep on them. Don't just simply slam dunk with getting them as a loyal customer. That doesn't tell them anything. We don't know if they're measuring. We don't know if they're taking before and after pictures. And we have no idea if they realize we're more than just a rep. We're more than just a rep.
That is one of the things I talked about after you had left is, this company, it is. What sets it apart, what is different about it is the culture, the people, the experiences. And when you get to conference, you don't even know just how big this is, how many lives this is changing, how much this is different until you get to conference and you can see the whole biggest picture we absolutely have. And that's what I said. Everybody, you need to get to conference. It'll change your life. It's going to change your vision. You don't even know what you're part of until you get there. And so the thing is with messaging or, on Facebook and all that stuff is you can send messages, but people can't hear your story. They can't hear your sincerity. They don't get to be in front of you. They don't get to experience and feel like what you feel and what you're sharing. That just can't come across in a message. You can't even really get it across in a phone call. Phone call is better than a text message. And it's sitting down with somebody in front of them so they can hear your story in person. They can hear your why. They can hear what you've experienced, and you can get their why from them and talk through that is a far more powerful thing. And like why we love parties, why we're having this huge emphasis on parties, why our team has grown so fast and been so cohesive, like we've been such a family, is because we built through parties. When you get people to parties, that is that chance to experience why this is different, to experience that culture, those stories, the people, to be a part of something bigger than yourself. And that's where, the one team, one missions are huge. They're awesome. It's great. It's a big event, but parties are the closest thing we can do to that every single day that we want to. Mm-hmm. And so that's why the party is just so big. And when you build on social media or through texting or just in personal messaging, they're not going to be, you're not going to connect them as much, and they're not going to be as convicted to join. Those who do join, they don't have as much of connection to the business, that personal involvement with it. And it's those people who you really are just, the more personal you are with people, the more personally connected to them you are, the more likely they are to join. The more they're going to want to stay around it, the more they're going to be excited to grow in this business and do it with you. And that's why just the power parties, it's such a powerful thing.
So speaking of parties, you guys, so we had our Diamond Time, and then it went into the One Team, One Mission. And obviously we've all been to parties before. We've all been to One Team, One Missions. I love doing those at events because you can hear how other people do them. And obviously we've heard how Cammie does them. She was the one that presented it today. But Cammie, like, you were on fire. My favorite part about you today during the One Team, One Mission was you talking about the timeline of the company. Like, I haven't heard you talk about it like that. I was like, mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. So
I was feeding off the energy. There's something to be said when there's 300 people in the room that are just fired up to change their life. And so I did feel on today, if I do say so myself.
So good, yeah.
By the way, Denise Walsh just walked in because we're having a little bit of an after party here tonight. And she's got to be tired putting on that event, huh?
Hey,
yes. Hey guys.
Hey. Ashley, you killed it too, my dear.
Thank you.
You guys are awesome. It was so fun.
I can't wait to hear all about it, and I'm going to, because like literally we're having an after party here tonight. So we got back-to-back Zooms and then an after party.
Awesome. I love it. Awesome.
Okay, so sorry, keep going with the timeline.
Okay, so what I was saying is, like when we first started, it was like we just talked about the business, right? Like, I mean, everybody signed as a distributor because who wouldn't want to make money with this product, right? And I think, I'm not saying that we've moved away from that, but Cammie, the way in the timeline that you set it up for just like a few things that you said, and I've heard you say it before, is this industry is not on trial anymore. It is a good way to make money, but you got to choose the right company. We are a company that has premium products in the health and wellness industry, and we have an exclusive product, okay? So are you guys hearing these like key buzzwords? Like, it's a super easy thing that you guys can duplicate that should be game over when you're sharing this business with somebody. And the thing that I loved before she transitioned to the wrap, so while she was on that timeline page, is she said to them, okay, now I want to ask you this question. What do you want? And how bad do you want it? And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so stealing that in parties because it starts getting their brain to think about, what do I want? And how bad do I want it? Wait, what is she talking about? And it just like triggers them to start thinking about the business. And I love that, Cammie. It was awesome.
Well, and I think what was something I decided to try is I looked in the room and I thought, what kind of different people do we have right now in this room? Do we have people that they want to have more stage time? They want to be a public speaker. Like, they just love to inspire and motivate. And then we have people in there that it's because of it works, that gave them a vehicle to actually go do what they were called to do. I think of Nikki and Chris Moore, who Chris sold his practice. Nikki stepped back from teaching And now they can adopt children in a matter of 6 weeks of learning there's a child that needs to be adopted, and they've got like a family of 50, and it's because of it works. And so I think it's an opportunity too, you guys, depending on the size of your room and depending on if you have other distributors in that place with you, is to share some of the reasons why people join. Don't say like, I mean, you can say, but why? All just, I love, Ashley, I know you and Morgan were talking about this when you guys were together the last time you were here, but it's not necessarily about what you've accomplished, how much money you've earned in good bonuses. It's about what you're going to do. I'm going to pay gas. All my gas money is going to be my wrap cash. I'm going to pay cash for college. I'm going to bring my husband home to be a full-time stay-at-home Mike. And then all of a sudden you do it, and people are like, oh my gosh, they're serious. And it may happen longer than you planned for it to, but so what? Think of how many people are not actually doing what they say they're going to do, no matter what kind of time frame it might take. So, I believe people follow people that know where they're going. That doesn't mean they already have arrived. And think about it. Have any of us arrived? None of us have arrived yet, not really. And so, I just think it's a great way to start casting the vision on that average income chart.
I love that. And then, okay, so one of my favorite parts about the color personalities, and we've all heard all these before, but Pam ended it with, okay, so there was a girl in her business, in her old business, that she sponsored that led her to $10,000. And don't you guys want to sponsor somebody that makes you $10,000? And she said, instead of being scared to talk to them about this business, or instead of being scared to blitz them, think about every single person that is a $10,000 potential. Like, I could be missing out on $10,000 if I don't talk to them about this business. It was just kind of a fun, different mindset. We kind of talked about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go do it. I'm going to start telling myself that's a $10,000 prospect. That's a $10,000 potential. That's a $10,000 waitress right there that needs to be on my team.
Yeah, and just clarifying. So I think Pam said her neighbor was a distributor in this company and didn't ever talk to Pam about this. And Pam joined with somebody else, and the person that she joined with was making $10,000 a month off of Pam. Her neighbor lost out on $10,000 a month by not ever bringing it up. And that's where you need to look at this and realize every single person you talk to, that's a $10,000 a month conversation. And it's true. It's not even an exaggeration. Yeah. Every single person you talk to can lead you to $10,000 a month. And even if it's not that person that signs up, maybe they connect you with somebody who connects you with somebody that's $10,000 a month. And so it is literally a really invaluable conversation that you're having every single time that you're handing out one of those blitz cards or talking to somebody about this business.
So my favorite panel today, you
Can
guys.
I say something really quick, Ash?
Sure. Is that Mel?
Yeah, that just made me think of when Robin was talking and how she ran into some woman at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever she was, but she didn't give her a card and she didn't invite her to an event, and she showed up at an event weeks later or something, and this woman that she talked to was there with someone else. So you guys, it's so important when you're talking to any person, always offer the opportunity. And I know that I need to be better about doing that too. If you're starting a conversation about anything, tell them about the business, because you're going to show up at a wrap party in 6 weeks, a month, and they're going to be there with someone else making them money and not helping you guys. So that made me think of Robin's story.
Yeah. I love that, Melody. Or Melissa. I just called her Melody. Where did that come from?
That happens all the time. Melody,
Oh, that's funny.
So the Blitz panel was actually my favorite panel today. It was on fire. Tiffany killed it. And I was just going to talk about Robin. So, so I feel like when I first started, I was so in my head about blitzing because I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't want to give somebody a coupon, just all these normal excuses. And I keep being reminded over and over and over again that I am blue. I talk to people. I'm a conversationalist. And if we were not in It Works, you guys, and we were out to dinner, we would make small talk with the waitress. If you're standing in line somewhere, you make small talk. If you're at your kids' games, you make small talk, So just do that and it works into it. And Robin was talking about how she just has normal conversations with people. She doesn't sell them. It works. She's picking them to join her team, and she's picking them to offer it to them. And then Andy went right into the whole same kind of thing. He doesn't necessarily call it blitzing because he just has normal conversation with people all throughout his day, wherever he goes, and he just works into it. So if he's talking to someone, they usually say, like, when you walk in there, if it's a bank teller, hey, how's your day? Great. How's yours? Oh, good. And then what are you up to today? Oh, I'm actually just out working my business. You don't know how many times I get asked that all the time. Somebody asks me, oh, what are you up to today? Are you working? I'm like, well, I am working right now. I work from home. Oh, what do you do? Have you ever heard of It Works? Okay. So it's just normal things. I think, take the word blitzing out of it, like, because I think that to some people scares them. They think they have to hand a blitz card, or they have to figure out a way to, like, go talk to the girl that's over there that's cute, that's looking at shampoo. No, just be you, be normal. And yeah, that was one of my favorite parts today.
And I think a big part of it, what Andy Boyd was saying when he was talking, is he doesn't like decide I'm going to go out and blitz today. But what he talks about is making it like a lifestyle change. Like, I'm a people person, and he says I'm not. But so when you're out and about, talk to people, and this is where I need to be more of a people person. But instead of like focusing on blitzing, just talking to people, making these small changes. It's a lifestyle change. Don't go out and say I need to blitz 6 people today, but every single day go, how are you to somebody?
Yeah, I was just going to add to that, because I think like even today, I want you guys to know, I went to find my daughter's little birthday, where she's having her birthday party. It's not till October, but we've been talking about it since June, so finally went and booked the hotel room at the place with the indoor slide. And the lady was so helpful. And I pulled out my blitz card and I said, hey, I just want to tell you, this is what I do. This is my business card. Have you ever heard of it? She had been introduced to it by a roommate 3 years ago. She didn't take it seriously. She didn't take her roommate seriously. Now, she should have. I know who her roommate was. Her roommate was very intense, very serious. But guess what? She's not in the business anymore. And this woman was so like, this is for real. And I was like, yeah, it's for real. I've been doing this for over 11 years. I was a school teacher. I was a coach. Blitzing is a part of every day. And until it becomes second nature to you. I love what Mike said when he said, practice just saying to someone, hey, how are you? But honestly, I'm going to challenge every single one of you. If you're part-time with this business, I want you to hand out no less than 2 blitz cards a day. And I believe until it becomes second nature, it needs to be on your 6 list. Once it becomes second nature, it just becomes a lifestyle habit for you, and you don't have to put it on your 6 list. It's really like you have one more spot on your 6 list to include something else, because blitzing is just already a natural part of your day. So until it becomes second nature to you and you're part-time with this business, hand out 2 blitz cards a day, every single day. And if you want to go a whole nother level, make sure you get 2 numbers a day or 2 new friends a day on social media. All right. The other side of it would be, if you're full-time, challenge yourself to get 5 blitz cards in people's hands until it becomes second nature to you. And then if you really want to take that up, if you not, just get 5 numbers or 5 new friends. That's how I would be intentional with your blitzing until it becomes second nature. Now, I wish you guys every single day I did a 6 list, but this business has become, I actually have to make a 6 list of being a mom and remembering dinner and homework and stuff like that, because every year it's new. And now that we're into our new class schedule, but the other stuff is so stinking natural. I never walk out of my house without business cards in my purse. I never come home from a party without getting ready for the next party. It's just a part of my day. I never go through a day without listening to something on Audible, podcast, reading. It's just second nature to me. I message people all day long because, again, it's just part of my day. So some of this stuff is going to start becoming second nature to you, but until it does, put it on that 6 list and challenge yourself to do that. Now, here's the deal. It might not be easy and it might not be simple, but you didn't join this business because you weren't looking to do something different. And if you want to do something different, you got to take different action. Otherwise, you're going to be exactly the same place where you are, whether you join this business or not. Just because you said, sign me up, doesn't mean life is going to change until you take the necessary action. Okay. And I love when Pam just kind of put it out there today. She said, this is work. Nobody said this wasn't work, but you'll never make the kind of money we get to make with working like this and leveraging your time like you can do with this business. So it is going to be work. It is going to require you to stretch and get outside your comfort zone, but it also allows you to work within your gifting to do what God created you to do. Otherwise you find a job, but that doesn't mean you actually get paid a level that pays your bills. or, you know, you're trading time for money to try to make a living. It works allows you to create a life. And so, yeah, it's going to push you outside your comfort zone. And yes, it's going to stretch you like you've never been stretched before. And I think my greatest aha moment for the day was when Joel Dunn said, embrace the suck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, embrace the suck, because, you know, just like life happens to all of us, kids get sick. You know, marriages have bad seasons. You know, kids go through hard times. They get picked on at school. Life is going to happen. Somebody gets, you know, a disease or an illness. Nobody plans for those things, but it happens to all of us. Struggles happen to all of us. Guess what? It's going to happen in this business too.
Everybody, like your neighbor and say the suck is going to happen.
The suck is going to happen. That's right. Because I think it's important that we all embrace. And if you aren't, I think Melissa might have commented something like this. If you're not ready for the hardships, you're going to get blown over. Like the man who built his house on the sand, you know? And so you're going to have to grow some roots, and you're just going to have to know there are going to be some wins in this business. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when, and it will happen often too. I've been in for 11 years. I've had wrap shortages. I've had software changes multiple times. I had shipping crap. We had new customer service. We had people poaching from other companies, and it's just going to keep going on and on and on. And then I've had my own personal issues, which has impacted my business. But you know what? Whether it's life outside of the business or life in the business, there's no place I'd rather be. There's nobody else I'd rather be with or surrounded by in these seasons of my life. And you're going to find that too. But the minute it starts to hit you, the suck hits you, you're just going to have to decide, am I going to be here knowing the suck is going to happen, or the first time the suck happens, am I going to run for the hills? That's a choice. That's something you get to decide.
Yeah, I was actually reading, not a story, I'm looking for the word, but a study that said, like, your outcome, your anxiousness, your fear about something is determined by how you go into that, what your perception of the outcome is. And if you look at something going, oh, this is going to be funny, or this is going to be horrific, it determines your outcome and your perspective. So if you go into it going, okay, this might be the worst thing ever, and it's just going to be funny, it's going to be a joke, we're going to laugh at it, and then you don't have that feel, and you can go into that going, no, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm going to laugh at this. Or you can go into that and oh, this is the worst thing ever, it's going to be terrible. And so your perspective going into it determines your attitude going through that. So when the suck happens, you can embrace, be prepared for the suck, and just be like, you know what, that's going to happen, and I'm going to laugh it off. And I know for me that really struck home, because just doing this business, I knew we were going to have to do a lot of things that are outside of our comfort zone. And I went into this ready to embrace the suck. Everything that was horrible, I knew was just going to make our story that much more funner to look back at. So,
I like it, funner. Awesome. Well, I know you guys, it's 9:30, and so I know we could go on and on. I want to challenge each and every one of you that was at the mini boot camp to go live. Leaders are learners, constant lifelong learners, and we're always learning and growing. And remember, you can't get where you want to go with the current mindset you have right now. So as you put out there on social an aha moment, people are going to be drawn to you. It doesn't matter what your status is with It Works, whether you're a distributor, an executive, a Ruby, an Emerald Diamond hire. Go live and share an aha moment. Make it a 1 to 2 minute video that shares something that you took away from the event today. And here's what I can promise you. What you put out there is going to be contagious. It's going to draw people to you. It's going to draw people to what you do. People long to be around people who are going somewhere. They long to be around people who are hungry, who are positive, and that's all they're going to feel from no matter what you talk about. I mean, I can already feel it from the aha moments coming in the chat room, and people want to be around people like that, and there's just not enough of that out there. So no matter what it was you learned today, whether it's saying something like, I started this business, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't done what I wanted to do yet, but today I learned this. Today I'm putting myself out there. I hope you guys hold me accountable. I hope you watch me, and when I cross that line, you cheer me on. You know, whatever it is that was your aha moment for the day. But I want each and every one of you to go live. And I know that might be scary, but don't worry about your hair being perfect, your makeup being all in the right place. Be real. That's what people are looking for, is real people that are going out there to try to change their life and get real results. And that's what I want to encourage each one of you to push yourself to continue to be that real person that's growing. You haven't arrived. None of us have arrived, but you're growing. And that's what you want to put out there, because you're going to attract other people that want to move forward in their life. All right, you guys. Anything else you want to say, Ashley and Mike?
Nope, I think you covered it. So thank you so much for hopping on.
All right. Bye, guys.